Before the ensemble performs their final number for us, if I could get Mr. Armstrong to join me at the podium. We really appreciate all of the time, energy, money, and dedication and hard work that Mr. Armstrong, Mr. Sink, and the students on stage have done to bring their band over and play for us this afternoon. And just as a small token of our appreciation from the folks here at the University of Alabama to the Northgate High School Advanced Symphonic Band and Mr. Alan Armstrong. Thank you.
I really want to thank Dr. Azzello, Mr. Coleman, and all the folks associated with the Alabama band staff for inviting us over and giving us the opportunity to share this day with you. I'm going to let Matt speak a little bit more about the piece, but it's fun to see old faces and old friends. I started my career here in Alabama, and it's been 7 years, and so I appreciate the invitation and the chance to come back. Thanks so much.
I will tell you the reason that Mr. Armstrong has asked me to do this is because he thought that he might get emotional if he tried to do it himself. It was Henry Brooks Adams who said that a teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. For 30 years, Dr. David L. Walters was the director at Jacksonville State University. During his tenure there, the Marching Southerners were known as one of the finest marching bands in the United States. His legacy and his influence will last far beyond his time. You need look no further than this stage to see the truth of that, as Mr. Alan Armstrong, who was one of Dr. Walters' students, is leading his own students in their performance for you here today. And we can only wonder how many of these students will go on to have their own students. You see, imagine if you can, a world without music. Imagine a funeral with no music, a wedding with no music, or children without songs. That for us is inconceivable. Music is that to which we run to find consolation in our darkest moments. And it's what we go to celebrate our greatest triumphs and our joys. Music charms the soul, and music teachers change the world. There are today, across the Southeast, and indeed across the United States, hundreds of music teachers and music students whose lives are better and richer and fuller, who are better musicians, but perhaps even more importantly, better human beings, because of the influence of Dr. Walters. In this next piece, you will hear two thematic ideas. One from the piece Salvation is Created, and the other from the piece The Quilting Party, both of which were hallmark melodies of the Marching Southerners. We have the privilege of having with us today the composer of this piece, my good friend and one of the directors at the Fayette County High School Band Program in Fayetteville, Georgia, Dr. Andrew Ford. And we also have with us today the gentleman for whom the piece was written, Dr. David L. Walters. Dr. Walters. It is now the privilege of this band and Mr. Armstrong to perform for the first time a piece commissioned for Dr. David L. Walters and appropriately named To Touch Eternity.